Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make the skirt that you've seen at the beginning of the video, and that is the Granny Stitch Crochet Skirt. This skirt can be made to any length and I'll be teaching you how to do that. This skirt can also be matched with a Granny Stitch crochet top that you can see in this image. So after this video, I'll be teaching you how to make the top, the matching top to this skirt, so that you can decide for yourself if you want to make a matching set. And for the yarn, I used Alize Cotton Gold, and this yarn is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic, and each ball of yarn is 361 yards, and I needed just about 2 balls to make the size that you've seen at the beginning of the video. But if you would like to maybe experiment with color, you can go ahead and try out different shades of colors, as you can see in some of these images, and you'll be able to achieve the same exact look as you can see on the screen. So I used about 2 balls, and that is a total of 200 grams. And then I also used a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a darning needle, and a measuring tape. The measurement that we shall be considering for this project is the hip circumference, and then the length of the skirt that you want. This can be made to floor length, and I'll be teaching you how to do that, how to change the length to either knee length or floor length or even mini version. And if you would like the written pattern, it's already available on all my online shops. And yeah, let's jump right into the video. Alright, so to start off your project, we're going to start with the lower part of the dress, which is the skirt. And you're going to start off with a slip knot. You're going to twist your yarn like this, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. This is our slip knot. Now you're going to make a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have our 5 chains, and you're going to go into the very first chain that you made, this one, and you're going to place 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into the same exact chain. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's a shell. 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then you're going to make a chain of 1 and 1 more double crochet into the same exact chain. So this marks the end of row 1. If you place your work like this, this is going to be the base of the triangle, because we're going to first work a triangular shape, and then these are the 2 sides of the triangle. So, alright, so for row 2, you're going to start off with a chain of 4, which counts as a double crochet chain 1, turn your work, and then into the very first chain 1 space, you're going to place 3 double crochets. So this is 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to make a chain of 1. The next one is a chain 2 space, which gets a shell, which is 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and 3 more double crochets into the same exact space. So that's a shell. Knot that down, and then you're going to make a chain of 1, and into the last space, which is a chain 4 space, you're going to go in there with 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and 1 more double crochet into the same space. So one thing that you should note is the beginning The beginning chain 4 counts as a double crochet chain 1, and we end the row with a chain 1, 1 double crochet to balance what we have at the beginning of the row. So this is what our triangle looks like. The chain 2 space is the one in the exact middle of the triangle. Then the chain 4 space and the chain 1, 1 double crochet are the ones on the sides of the triangle. So let's do that one more time. You start your row with a chain of 4. Turn your work. The chain of 4 counts as a double crochet chain 1. Go into the very first chain 1 space with a total of 3 double crochets. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, this is a chain 2 space, so it will get a shell. So each chain 2 space gets a shell, which is 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. And then chain 1, this is a chain 1 space, and it will get 3 double crochets. Chain 1, this is the last chain 4 space, and it will get 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet to balance what we have at the beginning of the row. So another thing that I have to point out is the chain 1 spaces on the sides of the triangle. For example, this one, this one, this one, and this one, always get only 3 double crochets. So let's see row 4. This is going to be the last row of demonstration of the stitch. For now, you start with a chain of 4, which counts as a double crochet chain 1, and then go into the first chain 1 space with a total of 3 double crochets. So that's how to begin your row for now. And then you're going to make a chain of 1. This is a chain 1 space, and I mentioned that each chain 1 space gets 3 double crochets. Chain 1, this is a chain 1 space, and it will get 3 double crochets. Chain 1, this is a chain 2 space, and each chain 2 space gets a shell, and the chain 2 spaces are found in the middle of the triangle. The top middle part of the triangle gets a shell, so you place 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into the same chain 2 space. Then from here you make a chain of 1. The next one is a chain 1 space, so it will get 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, this is a chain 1 space, so it will get 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to make a chain of 1, and then in the last chain 4 space you will place 3 double crochets, chain 1, and 1 more double crochet to end your row, just like we've been doing for the previous rows. So this is what our triangle looks like. It should be a perfect triangle. We're going to repeat this row until the base of our piece, this one, can stretch to our hip circumference. So keep working this until this can stretch to the hip circumference. For now, I have about 6.5 inches, and my intended hip circumference is 40 inches. You're going to repeat the same exact row, and the sides of the triangle as well as the base of the triangle are going to keep growing and widening as you keep working that same exact row, and keep doing that until you have your hip circumference when stretched at the base of the triangle. And I'll be back to show you what mine will look like, and also mention how many rows that I ended up doing. Alright guys, so we ended up doing a total of 25 rows, and that gave me a total of around 31 inches without stretching. But when I stretch, I get to my 40 inches at the base of the triangle. So make sure the base of the triangle is your hip circumference when stretched. Now we're going to start doing something else. You're going to take a measurement from the tip of the triangle in the middle, and then you measure until the base of the triangle. For me, I have a total of approximately 15 inches. Now I want a total of about 16 inches or 17, but this should be from your waistline all the way down to where you want your skirt to stop. That should be the measurement that we are taking right now. So if you want your skirt longer, even up to the feet, you can make this to floor length if you wish, but mine is going to be a bit short. So these are the instructions for making your skirt longer. You're going to work this row until the tip of the triangle up to the base of the triangle is that measurement from your waistline all the way to where you want your skirt to stop. So for my next row, which is going to be leveling up the sides of the triangle, I'm going to make a chain of 3 and you're going to skip over the chain 1 space. This time you skip over the 3 double crochets and go into the next chain 1 space with a total of 3 double crochets. So you can see the direction of the triangle has already changed. This is because we are no longer increasing the base of the triangle since we've already gotten the hip circumference. So our aim right now is to make the skirt as long as we want it to be. So chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, and you're going to repeat that all the way across until the tip of the triangle so do that all the way up here, and since we are still increasing the length of the skirt, we shall place a shell in the chain 2 space and then continue with chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space all the way down until you place 3 double crochets in this chain 1 space right here. And I'll show you how to wind up this row. This is row 1 of leveling up the sides of the triangle. Alright, so we're almost coming to the end of the row, and I'm still chaining 1 and double crocheting 3 times into the next chain 1 space, as you can see. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. So at the end of row 1 of leveling up the sides of the triangle, after your 3 double crochets here, you're going to directly go into the chain 4 here, that space, and you're going to place a double crochet. This time we are not going to chain 1 in between the 3 double crochets and the chain 1 and the double crochet at the end of the row. You just directly go into the space and place a double crochet. So this marks the end of row 1. row 2, you're going to start with a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet. Turn your work, and then you're going to skip over the next 3 double crochets and go into the next chain 1 space with a total of 3 double crochets. So the chain of 3 counts as a double crochet. Chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, and that's basically what we are going to repeat. And when you get to the tip of the triangle, you will do the same exact thing. Place a shell, which is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space of the topmost shell at the tip of the triangle, and then continue with your pattern all the way down until you place 3 double crochets in the last chain 1 space of the previous row, and I'll show you how to wind up. Now, what we are trying to do right now, as you can see here, we are now going to have a flat edge on the sides of the triangle, but also remember our main aim is to get this measurement to run from your waistline all the way down to where you want your skirt to stop. So for me, I told you I'll do mine to 16 inches, and right now I'm still at 15, and I think this row is supposed to get me to 16 inches. So let me go ahead and work this row, and I'll show you how to wind up, and we go on to the next step. All right, so we've come to the end of the second row of leveling up the sides of the triangle, and I'm placing 3 double crochets in the last chain 1 space of the previous row, and then I'll place 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3 after skipping these last 3 double crochets. You'll go on top of the chain 3 and place a double crochet there, just like that. So this is the row that you're going to keep repeating until the length of your skirt measures from your waistline up to where you want your skirt to stop. For me, this is 16 inches, and it's how long I want my skirt to be. So just keep repeating this in case you want a longer skirt, or in case that your intended measurement is longer than 16 inches. Just keep working row 2 of leveling up the sides. Now for me, I have gotten that length, and once you get that length of your skirt, you're now going to start leveling up the base of the triangle, the tip, sorry. This part here, you're no longer going to increase the length of the skirt. So for the next row, which is going to be leveling up both sides, both the side here and the tip of the triangle. So for row 3, or whichever row that you're at after getting the length of the skirt that you want, you're going to make a chain of 3 and turn your work. We are now going to first work one side of our skirt, and then we shall come back to the second side. So you're going to make a chain of 3 and place 3 double crochets into the chain 1 space, and then chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. All right, so you're going to repeat that until you place 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space before the chain 2 space at the tip of the triangle. All right, after placing 3 double crochets in the last chain 1 space before the chain 2 space, after your 3rd double crochet, you're going to yarn over and directly go into the chain 2 space at the tip of the triangle and place a double crochet. So what we are trying to do right now is to level up this side of the skirt as well, because we are no longer increasing the length of the skirt. So from here, this is row 2 of leveling up both the side and this side of the triangle. So chain 3 and turn your work. Remember, I told you that we're going to first work one side of our skirt. So after your chain of 3, you're going to skip over the 3 double crochets and place 3 double crochets in the chain 1 space. Chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. And you're going to repeat that all the way to the end of the row until you place 3 double crochets in the last chain 1 space of the row. So you can see we're now leveling up this part of our skirt. So keep working until you place 3 double crochets in this last chain 1 space of the previous row. So we've just placed 3 double crochets in the last chain 1 space of the previous row. You're going to skip over the last 3 double crochets, and on top of the chain 3, you're going to place a double crochet there, just like that. So you can see how the side of the triangle is now flat, and when it comes to the tip of the triangle, we are also still making the one side of the triangle flat, as you can see here. So that's the row 2 of making both sides flat. That is the row that we're going to keep repeating, the row that we just did. You're just going to keep repeating it, and you'll notice that your rows are going to get shorter and shorter until you're almost out of stitches, and I'll be back to show you what to do next. So you just make a chain of 3 and turn your work, skip over these 3 double crochets and place 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, chain 1 and 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, and you're going to repeat that all the way across until you have only 3 double crochets left on your row. After placing 3 double crochets in the last chain 1 space of the previous row, you will just skip over the last 3 double crochets and place a double crochet on top of the last chain 3 of the previous row, and keep working that until we come to a specific point. Let me say like here, because this line is going to eventually meet this line. So keep working and I'll show you what to do towards the end when you're running out of stitches. Alright, so once you're done with your first side, you're going to get your yarn and attach into the chain 2 space. That way you're going to be working in the opposite direction of the previous row. So into the chain 2 space of the tip of the triangle, you're going to attach your yarn there and then make a chain of 3. After your chain of 3, skip over the 3 double crochets and place 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, just like that. That's how to start creating a flat edge on the second side as well. You're just going to keep repeating the row of leveling up again and again until you're almost out of stitches, and you're going to wind up the same exact way that we did the first side of our work. So just keep repeating row 2 of leveling up both sides, just as we did for the opposite side, and we shall have a perfect rectangle. And then I'll show you what to do next. Alright, as I had mentioned, your stitches will keep getting fewer and fewer until you're almost running out of stitches. So we are still continuing with the chain of 3, turning your work, and place 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, chain 1, 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space, until you have 3 stitches left. So you skip over those 3 stitches and go on top of the chain 3 with a double crochet, just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet. Turn your work, skip over these 3 double crochets, just like we've been doing for the previous rows, and then place 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 space. And then you have 3 stitches left on your row. You're going to skip over them and place a double crochet on top of the chain 3. Just like that. So now we have only one group of 3 double crochets. You're going to make a chain of 3 and then turn your work, and you'll skip over the 3 double crochets and go on top of the chain 3 with a double crochet. Just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 1. I'm running out of yarn, but you'll make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. So that's how we wind up this corner. So you're going to go ahead and repeat the same process on the opposite side, and I'll meet you back when I have mine ready. Alright guys, after balancing both sides, you're going to have a rectangular shape, just like this. And now we're going to fold over our work like this, so that we create a seam line at the back of the skirt. So you're just going to fold it over, and we're going to join this side to this side. So grab your yarn. Alright, so we're going to place 2 single crochets in each and every row to join our panel into a round. So attach your yarn and place 2 single crochets in each and every row, joining the 2 sides together. Alright, so when you make it all the way across, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. Pull through. So this has joined our rectangular panel into a round, and you're going to flip it over. This is going to create a bump on the wrong side of our skirt, and you're going to flip it over to the right side. As you can see, we don't have a bump on the right side of the skirt. And now this is what our seam line looks like. That's what it looks like. And we're going to attach our yarn on the upper side of the skirt. So you're going to determine where you want the upper side to be. For me, this is going to be the upper side. And we're going to create our waistband for the skirt. So to do that, you're going to attach your yarn on the top part of the skirt, somewhere here in any row, and you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then double crochet into the same exact space. So that counts as 2 double crochets in this space, and then go into the next space with 2 double crochets, 2 double crochets into the next space, and you're going to repeat that all the way around, placing 2 double crochets in each and every row of the upper part of the skirt. So the side with the seam line of the skirt is going to be the middle back of the skirt, the back side of the skirt, but the seam line is in the middle of the back side of the skirt. So continue to place 2 double crochets in each and every row of the upper part of the skirt in order to create the waistband. And I'll meet you back here at this point. Alright, so we've made it all the way around, and I've placed 2 double crochets in the last row of the upper part of the skirt. And you're going to slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. Just insert your hook and pull through all. So that marks the end of round 1 of the waistband. So we are going on to round 2. You're going to make a chain of 3, and you're going to keep alternating between a front post double crochet and a back post double crochet. So yarn over, front post double crochet into the next stitch. So go under the stitch and push it to the front, and then double crochet as usual. That's a front post double crochet. And then go behind the stitch and push it to the back and double crochet. So that's a back post. So we are alternating between front post double crochet and back post double crochet all the way around. So this is round 2 of the waistband, and this is going to start creating a ribbed effect for our waistband of the skirt. Alright, so we've come to the end of round 2 of the waistband, and I'm still alternating between back post double crochet and front post double crochet. So I'm ending with a front post double crochet into the last stitch, but it doesn't matter what you end with. And then you're going to slip stitch on top of the chain 3 of the round to finish up round 2. And this should have already started creating the ribbed effect. If you don't see it here, just pass your hand on the waistband. You'll be able to feel the rib texture. And then you're going to make your last round, which is round 3. You're going to make a chain of 3 and make a front post double crochet in each front post double crochet, and then a back post double crochet in each back post double crochet. So keep alternating, one front post in each front post and then a back post in each back post double crochet all the way around until the end of the round, and I'll meet you back at the beginning of round 3. So this is what I have at the moment. So we made it to the end of round 3, and you're going to slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round, and then make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. So we are basically done with the waistband of the skirt, and now we are going to create a drawstring. This is what the waistband looks like. You can see how the ribbing has turned out, and we're now going to create a drawstring for the waistband. We're just going to make a plain chain of around 200 chains. Alright guys, after creating your drawstring, you're going to get your darning needle and you're going to pass it through the middle row of the waistband, in and out of every 2 stitches. So remember the seam line that we created at the back of the skirt. Now just place your work at the front and go in and out of every 2 stitches in the middle round of the waistband. all the way around the skirt. This is going to help us gather the waistband so that it creates a better fitting for our skirt around the waistline. All right, so when you make it all the way around, you can see how the drawstring makes the waistband of the skirt adjustable. So you can decide to either have the drawstring tie at the front of the skirt or the back of the skirt. So mine is at the front right now. And you can go ahead and make a knot. And then you're going to cut off the excess yarn from the two ends of the drawstring. And at this point, you're just going to go ahead and use your darning needle to weave in all your ends, and your skirt is ready to wear. Let's see the final look of our project.